Hello everyone, welcome to Anime No Mi, and thank you for joining us for another One Piece video. In this final saga of One Piece, after Luffy's incredible victory over Kaido and his rise to the height of Yonko, the world of pirates and the world government have now gone into a state of high alert. If we also add on the fact that Luffy has now awakened his devil fruit and apparently gained the powers of the sun god Nika, this has brought him an unprecedented amount of freedom in his body, making him one of the most feared and powerful pirates now on the seas. With this great power in Luffy's hands, he has now become a huge target. And as he gains more fame, the world government and the Navy are going to take extreme measures, which could come in the form of an order for Akainu to confront Luffy directly. So in today's video, we're going to talk about this possibility and comment on the great conflict that could happen between these two characters who do have an amazing and painful history together. But before we dive into the video, if you're new to the channel or even if you've watched a bunch of our videos, we'd be absolutely honored if you'd leave us a like and even subscribe and maybe leave us a comment letting us know what you thought of the video. It really helps us out, especially with that old YouTube algorithm, and it keeps motivating us to make more content. If you'd like to help out the channel in a bigger way, consider sharing this video or another one of your favorites with your friend. Well, without further ado, let's get into the video. So my friends, the world government, which are led by the ruthless Gorosei, have seen in Luffy a threat that is needed to be neutralized. Now Kizaru, the Marine Admiral known for his speed and destructive power, has been assigned to pursue Luffy and the Straw Hats on Egghead Island. However, even with Kizaru's formidable skill, there are doubts about Kizaru's ability to actually defeat this now formidable Straw Hat captain. The situation is further complicated when you consider that the Marines are there on a relentless quest to capture the renowned scientist Dr. Vegapunk, because he might actually have crucial information about Luffy's devil fruit. So the world government has to know that fully understanding this power is vital to controlling the danger Luffy now poses to them. Given the possibility that Kizaru might not be enough to capture Luffy, it's been speculated then that the fearsome fleet admiral himself, Akainu, known for his brutality and determination, might be forced to personally join that fight. Akainu is one of the Marines' most powerful leaders, and his presence could be the world government's only hope of capturing Luffy and putting an end to his threat. So the battle between Luffy and Akainu would be epic and probably a near cataclysmic event. Because of their shared history, a possible fight between Luffy and Akainu would be full of tension and a whole lot of expectation from us fans, because both are iconic figures with extraordinary powers. Now, Akainu is known for his devotion to absolute justice, where he's willing to do anything to maintain order and eliminate threats to the world government. He also happens to have the strongest offensive devil fruit, known as the Magu no Mi, which grants him the ability to manipulate and turn into magma, or lava, which grants him an incredible amount of destructive power that can rival the elements of nature themselves. On the other hand, Luffy has demonstrated power on the level of a Yonko, and he's demonstrated incredible growth as well as control over his ability after awakening his devil fruit. And with his Nika ability, it gives him impressive freedom over his environment and his body, and it allows him to manipulate objects around him and create extremely challenging situations for any likely opponent. The expectation surrounding this battle is not just in the brute strength of these two fighters, but it's also in their motivations and beliefs. Because Luffy, a pirate who's in search of the One Piece treasure and freedom for his people, when he collides with Akainu, an uncompromising defender of the world government, and has a vision of justice that is just do anything, a clash between these two opposing ideologies would promise to be as tense as the physical fight itself. On top of that, there's other elements in the story, such as the Gorosei, who are proving to be really extremely powerful and supposedly have the power of stopping Luffy. This is going to make these next events somewhat unpredictable. And of course, we can't talk about any potential fight between Akainu and Luffy without bringing up Luffy's brother Ace, because he literally had a hole put in him by Akainu's magma fist right in front of Luffy. So despite all the other ideological differences, for Luffy, this is a deeply personal battle. It is the trauma that led to the time skip and has really echoed throughout the story since. So this is going to take it, and any imminent confrontation between these two, as it comes closer, we got to remember that this fight is not just going to impact our two characters, but likely the entire world of One Piece as a whole. If we compare the two fighting styles of these characters, we can see that they're almost diametrically opposed. Because with Luffy's awakening, his heartbeat is literally the drums of liberation, a sound that rings out, bringing freedom to all that hear it. And Akainu, for his part, is literally one of the main weapons that is keeping the oppressed down in the world of One Piece. So this represents freedom versus captivity or oppression. But Akainu's also a person who so deeply believes in the world government and maintaining that order that he is likely to unleash every single thing he has. I mean, just consider Punk Hazard and what he and Aokiji did to the surface of that island. It is absolutely confirmed that Akainu is an awakened devil fruit user, and he was able to completely change half the terrain of that island. So what does that mean for Luffy's rubbery world effects? Does it mean that Akainu can still affect it, or does it come down to willpower or hockey? What actually will determine who wins in that battle and who gets to control the literal ground they fight on? Another facet is the emotional impact that this fight would have, because it's going to be profound, and not just for the characters in the world, but for us fans who have followed Luffy's journey from the beginning, and this being a definitive test for our main protagonist. Because if he can take on the Fleet Admiral Akainu, one of the literal most powerful forces in the Navy and really most hated antagonists, this could prove that he is that pirate king. And we don't know if Akainu is really endgame yet, or I shudder to think, what if Akainu isn't the worst thing and there's still something worse and more terrible than even Akainu existing in the world waiting for Luffy to show up? But however it plays out, the outcome of this battle would affect the balance of power on the seas, and it could honestly redefine the course of history. Now, Luffy's victory would signify the consolidation of his status as one of the most powerful figures in the pirate world, and it could even potentially weaken the influence of the world government, because Luffy is not one of those bad pirates. Everywhere he's gone, he's brought freedom, and he's liberated, and this is gonna make the world government and their facade look really weak. On the other hand, if Akainu came out the victor, this would immediately strengthen the Navy and the authority that the world government has, causing that very balance of power between Marines and pirates to become severely unbalanced and much more in the favor of the Marines. And if Akainu is not an endgame villain or antagonist, the magnitude of any possible battle between Luffy and Akainu would have the potential to trigger a series of events and seismic changes in the world of One Piece. So it leaves us with several intriguing questions and scenarios to think about as we approach this pivotal moment, whenever it happens to show up. Firstly, the outcome of the fight would affect the alliances and loyalties of other important characters within our story, because Luffy's allies, the Straw Hats, are deeply attached to him and will follow him to the ends of the earth and even beyond that if the journey requires it. However, Akainu's vision of justice might attract support from other powerful groups who pursue the same goal, or at least have aligned ideals and want to have stability in the pirate world, or maybe even a larger slice of the pie, and this could result in a widespread war that would shake all four seas. Another important issue is the impact on Luffy himself as a character if he were to lose to Akainu, because not only would it be devastating for the Straw Hat Captain, but it would also serve as a catalyst for a new level of growth and determination. But a victory for Luffy would elevate him to absolutely legendary status and further consolidate his position as one of the greatest figures in the pirate era. He'd also be considered one of the only pirates who was able to defeat a fleet admiral, which is a rare feat for any pirate to accomplish. Another unknown but possible connection could be the very fate of the One Piece treasure, that legendary thing that Luffy seeks, and it might even be closely linked to the outcome of any battle with Akainu. So if Luffy emerged victorious, he would be even closer to achieving his ultimate goal. One of the absolute best things about One Piece's narrative is that it always has intricate and unexpected surprising twists. And a fight between Luffy and Akainu wouldn't just be physical, like I said earlier. It's a clash of philosophies that has the power to resonate not only with the hearts of the characters, but also us readers and people who have watched Luffy's journey from the very beginning. Because at the epicenter of this imminent collision of Luffy and Akainu, a fundamental truth stands out. Both characters are symbols of strength and resilience and determination, but Luffy personifies freedom and friendship and the search for a better world, while Akainu personifies order, justice, and an unwavering conviction in his beliefs. So Luffy's victory wouldn't just be a personal triumph. It would actually be a testament to his epic journey from his small home village to the top of the world, really revealing the combination of years of training and sacrifice and loss of growth. And it would show that even against the greatest of adversity, friendship and determination and a belief in a better world can overcome any obstacle, making sure that all of the efforts and everything that he and his friends have gone through has not been in vain. Then again, if Akainu prevailed, it wouldn't just mean a defeat of one pirate crew. This would be a blow to the dreams of freedom and the hope of a fair world for all those that Luffy had inspired along his journey. It would be a brutal, absolutely brutal reminder that in the world of One Piece, choices have consequences. And sometimes even the bravest heroes can fail. This would also be a great victory for the Navy, and the fact that they would be able to claim that they defeated yet another Yonko. So whenever whenever we're treated to this epic clash, this is absolutely already destined to become one of the most memorable climaxes of our story. Because this is a fight that we have been waiting for decades now. And the moments that follow the battle are going to be crucial to the future of the entire world of One Piece. And whatever the outcome, the story of Luffy and his crewmates is going to be marked by this final confrontation. And it may even be a full circle, complete story moment reaching all the way back to when Ace lost his life. And there's absolutely no doubt that this fight would be the trigger responsible for changing the balance of the world permanently, either causing the end of that new era of pirates or one where there's the end of the Navy being in control of the world. And either one is going to directly impact the world government depending on that result. So really the only thing left for us to do is wait until this great fight happens and see what it will do to the future of our story. But with all that said, we'd now love to know what you think about it. When do you think we might get treated to this amazing matchup? Is it possible that Akainu could get sent to Egghead Island? Is he gonna be maybe somebody who shows up in Elbaf? Or do you think he is gonna be an endgame character? And how do you think the fight will play out? Do we see Luffy just getting an instant win? Or do we see that there's gonna be an ebb and flow like we've seen with other significant fights that Luffy's had along the way? Let us know what you think about all that in the comments below. So as we wrap up our video, we'd like to thank you all so much for watching, especially those of you who've made it here to the very end. Make sure you comment on any themes or ideas that you'd like to see in future videos. And also, since you made it this far, give us a like and hit that red subscribe button before you head out to take on the rest of your day. I look forward to seeing you all in our next video, and let's keep sailing this giant sea together. Take care.